Hey guys, welcome to this video. Will again here, coming into the new year 2025. Excited to go and get the profits rolling again. 2024 was quite decent. Lots of Academy members came on board, all placing value bets with my horse value each way strategy and working really well. Lots of them also jumping on my new sports prop method. So really good to see that. And we really want to grow those profits in 2025. I just thought I would discuss briefly in terms of what is going to get you restricted and what is going to allow you to stay on slightly longer. And mostly you have to remember before going into things like this that they are not individual people in massive companies who are checking absolutely every single account and stake and deposit and checking your name on Facebook. Which is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of people who hide their names on Facebook. Believe me, they're not worried about what you're doing too much. They're not going to get that sort of weird. But in any case, if you are looking to stick around a bit longer, then you're going to want to follow a trajectory that doesn't cause problems and doesn't cause those alerts. It's just like if you look at companies like PayPal, I've been on the phone to PayPal before, and they've got millions of accounts. There's no way they can have someone personally check every single account. It has to be done by, robots, AI, computer programs, software, etc. That way, they don't need to employ someone to do it, and it probably isn't physically possible with the amount of people signing up and placing bets. So it's really important to remember that. That's why I'm talking about Bet365 here. Obviously, that can change if you're looking at something like a private bookmaker. But mostly if you're looking at public and big corporations that, operate globally, there are a few clear parameters that will cause you to face restriction. Mostly what I've found over time through, personal research and others I've worked with, is that the restrictions normally come based on the speed at which you sort of grow your balance and your PL goes into minus for the bookie. Now, most of the time, the accounts that last the longest are the ones that lose first. Obviously, you can't choose really when you lose. You can bet high odds, but you might win straight away, which is going to be a problem. But typically, if you suddenly cause this big trajectory of the bookmaker losing money, you're going to go pretty quickly because they'll look at the amount of time you've been playing, the amount of money you've wagered, and then they'll just look whether it's sustainable or not. Of course, if very early on that trajectory is very steep and the loss that the bookie is incurring is so fast, it's going to be unlikely that they would be more willing to have you on board. Now, don't forget, if you want to learn how to keep accounts and then actually profit to the tune of tens of thousands throughout your accounts. If you check my YouTube, it's all there. You can see it live. Then just go underneath this video. You can learn exactly how. So this small table I've written just gives you an example of, let's say, someone who's signed up. Man, woman, doesn't matter who it is. Week 1 to week 10 could be the start of the life cycle. Now, the individual who's going to get restricted or banned from that bookmaker, stake limited, whatever it is going to be the one that goes gung-ho and bets really, really, either in high frequency with high amounts or in low frequency with very high amounts or massive deposits. That is going to cause the profit and loss to move very quickly for a bookmaker. I suppose their main safeguard to not get abused, let's say in some sort of manipulation scenario, is by having someone, let's say someone signs up and deposits £5,000, bets £5,000 straight away. If there is some reason why they might win that bet, obviously Bet365 are going to want to get rid of them as soon as they can. So it's really about the speed at which you start to cause a bookmaker to lose money. If you're causing them to lose money slowly, then you'll obviously last a much longer time. And it's quite likely even, placing value bets that you probably will lose money in most cases to begin with, and then see the profit curve go up. That's why my YouTube live videos don't hide away from downswings. I filmed myself going £1,500 down or so before making 12,500 in total. It just happens. That's just how maths works, I guess, and the distribution of results. So if you want to stick around longer, your deposits and your bets are going to have to be low and infrequent to begin with. because obviously if if you start betting with an account and suddenly there's this big jump in balance, or there's this addiction as well going on, which could be a problem, then they're going to want to get rid of you. You're just giving them reasons, giving them ammunition to get rid of you. So you have to scale things slowly. And your stakes need to go from, and your deposits as well, need to go from low to mid to high over a reasonable period of time. Now, 10 weeks is 70 days. That is okay. It might seem like a long time, but then if you're lasting months and months and months of betting, obviously the profits are going to climb over time. So to begin with, a low deposit, it's probably going to be something 50, 75 pounds or so. And a low stake, particularly with my method, is going to be about a fifth of that. It's going to be much less. Anything from £7.50 to £10 each way. And then slowly over time, you might look towards what would be a mid deposit, which is going to your £100 region, maybe 125. The higher end is going to be 150 to 200 plus. And then the really, really high level, or where people are going to be depositing £300, £500, that's going to be when things get a bit more serious. But that's not going to be after, before sort of 10 weeks. For most people to get comfortable doing that, it takes a reasonable amount of time. And the bookmakers know that. So they may offer you deposit limits, etc., to cover their back. But essentially, it's the speed at which you grow that balance based, versus the age of the account that is going to cause you to get restricted or not. So obviously, the slower that curve is, even if you're making money, if it's slower, you will last a longer time. Now, these accounts never last forever. There are a lot of people who sell betting products that hide away from that. You will get restricted. You will. But if you're pulling thousands and thousands per bookmaker, it doesn't really matter whether you get restricted, because you would have made so much money out of them anyway, overall. So it's a myth, basically, that you will never get restricted. Obviously, my new sports prop firm betting system doesn't rely on bookies anymore. They're sports betting prop firms. A lot of people have that now. So it's different, and it's a good avenue to have. But like I said, if you're going to work with any bookmaker and you're placing any value bets, you don't want to go in, sort of gung-ho or guns blazing. You want to make it look as if you're someone who's just started betting, just got into it, starting to get an interest, and slowly over time you're betting and depositing more money, because you're growing your relationship with that bookmaker. You have to imagine if it's someone sitting down watching games or horse races, that's typically what they would do. But absolutely, at the worst, if you're going to be sitting there betting loads or depositing loads all at once, straight away, you will get restricted. It has to be slow and gradual. And if it's slow and gradual, then you can build up to higher gains over time. And that really is the way to stay on longer. Don't forget, if you want to learn how to make tens of thousands out of your bookie accounts, like I have live documented on this channel, go off this video and watch them, then go underneath. See you in the next one.